not here.
And welcome back in Carver Arena in Peoria, Illinois. Game 2 today, the Class A quarterfinals, and we had a great one in the first one. We anticipate the same in game number 2. Farmington's Farmers 31-0, Nashville's Hornets 30-1. Two teams that play great defense coming in. Farmington allowing just 49 points a game. Nashville allowing 46. For more to set up this pregame portion of game 2, let's head courtside and welcome in Eric Collins. Eric?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lance. Thrilled to be here now. In a couple of moments, we're going to talk to the head coach for the Farmington Farmers, Tom Wiersma. Kind of an interesting story. You'd think that they'd have home court advantage. They're from Farmington, which is just only 20 miles west of Peoria. Well, they've given away home court advantage. They spent last night in a hotel right here in downtown Peoria. They said they wanted the feel of actual tournament play. They want to be like everyone else. They don't want to sleep in their own beds. So they spent last night here in Peoria. They had a meal this morning as a team. They hopped on a school bus, which is somewhat unusual for a team just 20 minutes away. But they're doing the whole state experience thing, and they're loving every minute of it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. They have definitely got the feel walking in today. It is a tournament-type atmosphere, no doubt. This place is electrifying. It's Farmington and Nashville. Back with more on our pregame after this. Welcome back in. Lance McAllister along with David Captain. Clock ticking down to game 2 in our quarterfinals. And for more, let's go courtside with the coaches and Eric Collins. Eric?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lance. We're here with Darren Lee of the Nashville Hornets. Darren, you were here last year. What did you learn from last year's experience after losing in the quarters?
Well, we learned we probably don't want to do that again. It's going to be a battle today, and we play like we did last year. We like our chances. We just came up a little bit short.
Thanks for stopping by. We're going to talk to you right after halftime, if that's okay with you.
That'd be fine.
Good luck, Darren Lee. Now let's go back to Lance and Dave. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. Let's take a look at our brackets on a very busy day. A heck of a first-round game. If you missed it, 59-52. Nauvoo wins in the opener. We have Nashville and Farmington. Then we are back at it tonight. More doubleheader action at 6:30 and 8:30, and right back at you on Saturday with 4 more. Two teams today that have worked on incredible seasons. 31-0 Farmington, 30-1 Nashville. And David, we've talked early about experiences, and it's always interesting early in games like this to see how the kids work out the nerves, the depth perception of the baskets. You always have to take a look, because I'm sure these kids at 16, 17, 18, the hearts are beating about 3 times what they're used to.
Oh, they are just ecstatic to be here. I mean, this is what March Madness is, getting to the Elite Eight. If you bring home the trophy on top of it, that's a cherry on top of the sundae. But you're right, depth perception, trying to find something that gives you a bit of a background to shoot into, because it's totally different where you play in the small high school gym in front of 500 to 2,000 fans. You come in here and you say, oh my God, there's more people in here than 10 of our towns. So it's a great opportunity.
A difference in experiences, and we'll talk about that on both teams. But first, let's check out today's starting lineups, and we go courtside with our public address announcer.
America's original March Madness, please direct your attention to the Carver Arena floor. Presenting the special memento to the visiting team will be Kelly Rude, Community Events Coordinator for the Peoria Journal-Star. And presenting the special memento to the home team will be Ryan Furman, Technical Sales Lead, Zeneca Ag Products. Now, here are the teams in today's second quarterfinal game. For Farmington, the visiting team on the scoreboard. A 5'9" senior, Kent Johnson. A 5'9" senior, Jeff Bannister. A 5'9" junior, Chris Kolowski. A 5'11" senior, Rick Dubit. A 6'1" junior, Mike Nelson. A 6'2" senior, Nick Stevens. And a 6-foot senior, Will Smith. Now let's meet the Nashville Hornets. A 5'11" junior, Scott Barr. A 6'2" sophomore, Robert Lee. The 6-foot sophomore, Jason Finke. A 6'4" junior, Travis Schmalley. A 6'3" junior, Jody Gajewski. And a 6'1" freshman, John Schmalley. And now let's meet the starting lineups and coaches of this quarterfinal contest. At a forward for Farmington, a 6'2" sophomore, number 32, Rhett Wiersma. At a forward for Nashville, a 6' junior, number 3, Zach Grobiak. At a forward for the Farmers, a 6'1" senior, number 40, Greg Romaine. At a forward for the Hornets, a 6'3" senior, number 21, Andy Gajewski. The Farmington center at 6'3", a senior, number 12, Scott Kuykendall. At center for Nashville, a 6'6" junior, number 44, Brian Paisecki. At a guard for the Farmers, a 5'11" junior, number 21, Seth Nelson. At a guard for the Hornets, a 6'1" junior, 23, Brad Fisher. The other Farmington guard is a 5'10" senior, number 22, Tom Flaherty. And a guard for Nashville, a 6' junior, number 24, Kelly Cruiser. The Farmington assistant coaches, Mike Larson and Brian Wojciak. Head coach in his 24th season, his 15th at Farmington with a record of 271 and 137, is Tom Wiersma. Assistant coaches for Nashville, Wayne Hari, Todd Parker, and Jim Stein. Head coach in his 9th season, his 7th at Nashville with a record of 129. Darren Lee.
And a look at today's officials. Randall Remington, Bob Rowett, and Jerry Whitney, the men entrusted with calling the action today.
And we have to say that these guys are also being rewarded. The best of the officials are the guys that are here. And I believe the state rule is you can work 2 state final games, and that's it. So they can spread it around and give it the other deserving officials an opportunity. But you don't get to be here unless you are one heck of a good official.
Farmington, as mentioned, unbeaten. Unbeaten teams are few and far between at this stage of the tournament. Nashville's only loss to Pinckneyville on January 30th, 59-52.
And that, of course, the final score of our first game with Calusa. Nauvoo Calusa moving on over Crispin.
We are about set for basketball in game 2 this afternoon. Strap yourself in and hopefully enjoy a good one. And we are underway. First possession to Nashville. This is Brad Fisher. In and out, no, and Farmington gets first possession. They're a team that scores 73 points a game, winning by an average margin of 25 this year. Seth Nelson fouled. He's one of the state's best point guards, and he's a man who makes this offense work for the Farmers.
Well, Nelson's a guy who knows what a point guard's supposed to do. If he gets an opportunity to score, he'll take it, but he always looks to find a guy with a better scoring look.
Red Wiersma, the son of the coach, will inbounds. Farmington looking to put the first points of this ball game on the board. Pretty good shooting team, 49% from the field this season. This is Flaherty, their best three-point shooter. He goes inside and gets that one knocked away. That's a rarity for Flaherty. He has shot 260 three-point attempts to 109 two-point attempts.
Well, here it comes around the corner. Here's the dribble drive. It says, get that out of here. Real nice job on rotation.
45% from three-point territory, 44 overall. And he is by far their best three-point shooter on this basketball team. Wiersma inbounds. Flaherty takes a look, and he will launch and miss his first three of the ball game. And here comes Nashville. Possession for each team, no points. Fisher again, left-handed dribble sets up the offense. And they work around the perimeter. Just one senior on this ball club. Here's Cruiser. He misses. And they control the boards. They've done that much of this season.
That's the key. How do they win? They control the boards at both ends of the floor.
Nice look, down low, up and in. That's Brobiak.
Well, you get so focused on Piasecki inside at 6'6 and a half, 6'7", that the weak side everyone forgot about.
First points of the game put up on the board. Farmington will try to answer. Baseline and a turnover.
Well, again, it's the big guy inside who caused the travel, because you know you're going up against a tall guy that can block shots, and the shuffle of the feet was obvious.
A little bit of pressure put on by Farmington. They run you ragged. Forced 29 turnovers in a game earlier this season. And now from the half court, it's Nashville. Look inside, nothing doing there, and forced to work around the perimeter. Now down low, here's the big guy, Piasecki. Three, no, and boarded by Farmington.
Well, I still think they're standing around a little too much there. Nashville got to do a better job at getting everybody involved in their offense. They cannot just passively pass the ball around the perimeter.
Penetrating, here's Nelson, up, no. And they can't get it to go inside. Nashville the other way, looking to double their lead. 2-0 early stages. That's a three, and that's off the mark, but controlled again. Long three, no. Butt underneath. Piasecki in the middle of it.
Kuykendall.
That'll be his first. 6'3", 175, and a senior is Kuykendall. Has led Farmington in rebounding every game this season. All 31 games, he's been their leading rebounder.
I believe Coach Wiersma also had his eyes on the NCAA tournament yesterday.
As a son, Ben, who's a junior for South Alabama, went down to a Fighting Illini squad last night. Baseline, a nice bounce for Piasecki, and he's in the books.
Well, Piasecki does a nice job. When he turns, he doesn't fade. Big guys have a tendency to shoot fadeaways. He goes straight up, and he has a soft shot, and it fell.
They work in and work out. 4-0. Nashville the early leader in first quarter action. And a drive and another turnover. A couple travels early, a little excitement as they find their legs, so to speak, here. 4:56 left in the first. Game 2 of the quarterfinals. Nashville 4, Farmington nothing. Back with more after this. Quarterfinal game 2, 4-0 early. Nashville the leader, and I know it's early, but Nashville as a team, as the game goes on, if they open up a lead, they could become very deadly. Beating the press the other way, that looked easy. Fisher in the books with 2, and there's how you beat a press, pass over top of it.
And have the ability to throw long against it with a baseball pass. You can score a lot of points that way.
And here comes Nashville again. Farmington trying to get on the board. Very patient from the outside. They try to work inside, loose on the floor, and the other way.
See what they did there, Lance, they're too passive offensively. You can let the post develop, but you cannot just stand there and wait and a lot. Look at the defense. Look at that. There's 5 purple shirts in your screen, 3 around the low post. They caused the turnover. Poor job at showing some life in the offense and some movement.
And another turnover for Farmington. That's 3 on travels in the first. Look at the field goal shooting. Ouch.
Part of that's a credit to what Nashville is doing defensively. They're pushing up out on the perimeter, being very aggressive, and that makes Farmington a little bit anxious as they try and get it initiated.
3 early turnovers for Farmington has put them in a 6-0 hole as we approach the 4-minute mark. Here's Fisher penetrating. In and out. And loose, and they get it back.
Another offensive rebound.
Second possessions will kill you.
Oh, that was forced.
To the lane. Nelson flips, draws contact, and he will step to the line. Trying to put the first points of the day on the board for Farmington.
Well, here he comes up with a head of steam. Now he's going to get himself into the lane, splits the defense, and there's the absolute no question on the block charge. Calls a block.
He is an outstanding ball handler, averaging nearly 7 assists per game.
They'll call it out on the floor, so he will not get to the line.
Strip loop, another turnover. That's 4. Here comes Nashville. Robiak wants a 3, pulls the trigger, nothing but net.
9-0 lead for Nashville. They get off to a quick start here. Farmington needs to come down. Let everyone get a touch. Don't panic and take a bad shot. Get everyone a touch. There's an eternity left. Got 3.5 quarters to go.
And that is the key, not to panic. There's a bucket, will it count? That's Clarity. He's their best shooter.
Well, he did a good job to get a good shot opportunity. That was a 15-footer. And here they come down off the dribble. He sees he's got an opening, and he takes a good, clean look, buries it, and there comes your foul.
With Farmington on the board at the 3:18 mark of this one. Clarity shoots 66% from the free throw line. Had a game earlier this year where he hit 7 threes.
I remember a game back in the '73 state tournament. Aurora West and legendary coach John McDougal didn't score a point in an entire quarter and still won the ball game.
Here's Cruiser launching and missing, but again they get a second chance, can't convert. They're pounding the boards. Do we say Cruiser missile was off mark?
Absolutely.
Say that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed how Nashville goes to the glass. It could hurt them down the road in terms of a transition game, but man, they send guys hard to the board.
Here's Nelson with the left-handed dribble trying to set up Farmington in a half court. And it's stolen. Another turnover, but he steps out. Robiak had thoughts on a breakaway.
Good aggressive play, though. Real good aggressive play. Again, they're pressing up on the perimeter. They're trying to deny the wing entry pass. And if you're a team that's the only way you start your offense is with a wing entry, you're going to have trouble against a team like Nashville. What you need to do then is take your low post guys, flash into the high post, and enter your offense that way.
Jody Gayaskis checks in for Nashville. Behind the screen, the 3, in and out. Nelson misses, and Nashville boards again. Look down low. Nice entry pass. In traffic. Up no. But Gayeski's going to the line to shoot 2, and they continue to pound the ball inside. Let's go courtside. Eric Collins, what do you got?
Hey, guys. Earlier today, I was talking to head coach Darren Lee of the Nashville Hornets. I asked him about the difference between last year when they made it to the quarterfinals and this year. He said, last year, my biggest mistake is I probably practiced the guys too hard. The week of states, we had 2 practices the day before our game. We were tired. We just didn't have the legs when we actually had to do it against Spring Valley Hall. Today, these guys look a little bit fresh. They only had a little bit of a practice yesterday, and they look fresh right now. Guys, back to you.
They lead by 7, trying to make it 8, and they do.
Well, it's funny to hear him say that maybe they were a little tired. Maybe they were just a little bit nervous, too. You got to always factor that in. I talked to Cincinnati coach Bob Huggins the other day. He said, we go 3 hours every day. It doesn't matter. And he thinks it makes his team tougher. Different philosophies.
Out top, Nelson. And a whistle, and another travel. Ouch. Tom Weirdboo's got to be wondering what's going on in the turnover department right now. Nashville's lead is 8. They have 4 different scores to this point, which is not uncommon. They've had 7 different players lead them in scoring this season. Here's another breakaway. They have figured this out. Inside and up and in. It's Brad Fisher.
Well, again, they do a real good job at releasing a man, and nobody gets back for Farmington. That's going to be something coaches can have to talk at halftime about, getting somebody to rotate back against that baseball pass.
Flaherty misses the 3. Here's Cruiser the other way. And he called the basketball.
It's a good call. That's a good call. Darren Lee doesn't like it, but I thought that was the right call. There comes the baseball pass, and again, no rotation. Wide open layup. Get it up, it'll fall.
Way too easy. Will Smith will inbound. 6-foot senior has checked into the game. 10-point lead here in the first. Kuykendall puts it on the hip. Work around the perimeter and almost traveled again.
Aaron Lee works the official hard.
Nothing doing inside, so they work the perimeter at the 1:15 mark. And an offensive foul. Was it a moving pick?
I think they're going to get Will Smith. Used his arm to clear out and get himself an opportunity.
Will Smith, one of many who will come off the bench for Farmington. They send him out in waves. They press and they rotate to keep everybody fresh.
Now here you go, full court. See if they trap the pass. They definitely pick up the baseball pass, and here comes the trap in the corner. Just a different look to do something to jumpstart the ball club.
Gajewski gives it up to the guard. This is Fisher. He will examine the defense. We go under a minute. Looking to establish inside. There it is. And a whistle.
I think the foul is going to come before the shot.
Gajewski put it up and in. That is Jody, his brother Andy.
Now here's the entry pass. There's your contact, then your shot. This isn't the NBA. Foul out. Now let's see where the foul comes. Here it comes. He's on the floor. That's a good call. He had not left the floor yet.
So inbounds left to the basket. There's an easy entry. Shot up no by Gajewski. And here comes Farmington. Nelson with a little shake and bake, puts on the brakes and the work from the half court. Out top three. Hard off iron. And boarded again by Nashville. Well, they clean up on the boards.
At both ends, they're such an aggressive rebounding club. I just want to see if it affects them at all in terms of fast break type opportunity, especially as hard as they go to the offensive glass.
Their lead is double digits, and they'll hold for one shot to end the quarter. Big first quarter for Nashville. Farmington started slow, has yet to really get into gear.
Good boy, Bob.
Loose, and the effort will be to no avail. That will put one in the books. Nashville jumps out early. Farmington will play catch-up, and that's not a good thing to be doing when it comes to playing Nashville. We head to the second in Game 2 of the state quarterfinals. Nashville 13, Farmington 3. We're back after this. The telecast rights to this game have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of the boys IHSA championships are not permitted without the expressed written consent of Fox Sports Chicago and the IHSA. We are underway in second quarter action. Farmington tries to answer with an air ball three. That will not answer.
Tell you what, that's just too quick a shot. Coach Wiersma gets up. He says, guys, let's let the offense develop and see what we get.
It is awfully tough when you are behind Nashville. They handle the ball so well. They shoot free throws so well. They get a lead and they'll be content to sit back and say, come after us. Even the three-point shooting, Farmington has yet to hit one. And the trouble gets deeper.
Tell you what, both coaches give freedom, though. We've got 10 three-point opportunities already taken.
15-3. Farmington trying to regroup. This is Flaherty. Needing help and finds it. Nelson penetrates and hits.
Tough shot.
Yes, sir.
Really like the way Nelson squared his shoulders when he got into the lane. Did a good job there.
You see why he's one of the better ball handlers in this state. Nashville the other way. And a whistle. That's offensive. And Farmington will get a break.
Well, Rhett Wiersma, you get aggressive when you're 3, 4, 5 feet from the basket. You think, I've got a scoring opportunity. Here he comes on the dribble drive, and that is a real nice job by Wiersma to step over and take the charge from Robert Lee.
Wiersma, the coach's son, averaging about 8 points a game, and his brother, as mentioned earlier, an NCAA participant yesterday with South Alabama.
No better time of the year, Lance, than March Madness.
No doubt about it. Here's Nelson penetrating again. Scoops. He draws contact, and he's going to get to go to the line.
Tell you what, I really think this is the guy that's going to get them back in the game They're down 15-5, but he's willing now as the point guard to take the ball to the basket, find open men if there are cutters. If not, he's going to try and strap the club on his back and see if he can get him close.
Well, you couldn't ask much more out of a point guard. He's a good penetrator. He's an outstanding free throw shooter, 86%. That is just what you want from your guy handling the rock. He misses the first. Eric Collins, what do you got?
Hey, guys, last huddle, Coach Wiersma for Farmington looked the guys in the eyes and said, we have 4 travels already. I can't name a game this season when we had 4 travels in the entire game. You know what that means? We're going way too fast. Let's slow down. Back to you guys.
Nelson salvages 1 of 2. It's down to 9, under double digits. Pitch and catch around the perimeter. This is Fisher. Now he'll set up the offense. Big guy Paisecki. And a trip. Greg Romaine, 6'1", 195-pound senior, got a hip in the way.
Now, what is that? What is he wearing on his boot there? Is that a purple rose and some tinsel in there? I'll tell you what. He's got some style. Reminds me of Digger Phelps, who always used to wear a flower on his jacket.
Always wore that green carnation, did you?
Yep.
Farmington the other way, the banker's good.
See, look at the shot opportunity there. They pushed it in transition, and they got a good shot opportunity because they were aggressive to score. You break pressure to score.
Dubit converts. He's off the bench, averaging 4 per game. Gets 2 here early, 15-8. Inside, there's the man they're looking for. Paisecki, the bucket, and the foul.
Oh, look at the emotion. He is fired up. Here's the entry pass. It comes from deep on the wing. That's a tough pass. 3 purple shirts inside. Nice catch. Feels the harm coming. There's your hoop and your 3-point opportunity. He says, yes, sirree. Nice pass.
He is a guy who at times, according to his coach, has been passive this year. Didn't look too passive there. Back to a 10-point lead. We go under 6 minutes in the first half here in Class A quarterfinal number 2. 3 in the air, no. Romaine misses. Make it Dubit. Nashville once again, no surprise here early, controls the board.
Beat it!
Fisher on the wing, down low. There's Paisecki again. This time he'll come up short. And here comes Farmington. In transition, this is Nelson. Lost control and turns it over.
He's banged up. Nelson's banged up. Might have fought a knee in the thigh. He's gutty. He's back. He's defending.
Fisher thought about a 3. Well, instead comes cross court. Here's Cruiser. High arching one. Nelson with that knee across the timeline. Leans, draws contact. No.
I think he's going to get a seat just to catch his breath. He's a little winded. But he's aggressive offensively. That's what you want to see. When your team is flat, that's the role of the point guard. Try and get everyone involved. If no one's going to step up and really show some life offensively, then what you want to do is try and strap the club on your back a little bit and be aggressive. But he will come out after these free throws, provided he makes them.
It's the first. Farmington Ball Club, winning by an average of 25, had not had too many close calls. In fact, only 3 times this year in 31 games have they had a game finish in single digits. And he is coming out.
I see that boutonniere. I could never wear that when I coach. I'd be afraid I'd stick myself with the thing. Man, looks like a big foot ornament.
Cards and letters to David Kaplan.
I love you, Coach, but
I just don't like your boutonniere. Nashville's lead is 8. They will be patient. A glance to the sidelines. Fisher. Paisecki, little pitch and catch inside, outside. They like to work it. Drive cut off. Triple team needs help. Finds it out top. The big guy got it.
Well, great rotation defense. That's how you play defense.
Robiak thought about 3, instead dumps, and they draw the contact. Greg Romaine, the push from behind. He's got his hands full at 6'1", guarding the 6'6" Paisecki. And that is 3.
Okay, here's the pass inside. There you see, there's your foul. Now that's a look from the last time down when they took a shot inside Piasecki. They did a good job defensively because they pushed him out away from the basket from his shooting range. But the first one, the opportunity here now to send him to the free throw line, there was an elbow into the back, into the ribs, a little bit more physical, and that's why the foul was called.
Piasecki misses. And Farmington can take it down to 6 here with the bucket. They try to slowly climb back into an early hole. 3 in the air, no good. Not sure Tom Wiersma wanted that shot.
Now, taking too many quick threes, quick looks. If the opportunity's there within the flow, you take it. They're rushing their shot.
Here's a 3 in the air. Fisher, yes.
That's a foul.
Wow. Ring that one up and ring up an 11-point lead for Nashville. Here's Wiersma. He hits and answers.
That's a different 3. It came within the flow of their secondary break, and it was a wide open look, not contested.
Pressure broken by Nashville. Hasn't really bothered him. 3 in the air, good. That's Broviak. And just like that, it's back up to 11. Smith, left wing. Takes a look inside, trying to run off a screen, open up a 3. Wiersma thought about it, instead gives it up to Clarity. Here's Wiersma, 3, no, but contact.
Well, that's a foul that Darren Lee looks, just shakes his head and says, guys, why would you foul on a bailout 3? But that again, I think Coach Wiersma's going to make a substitution here. Bailout 3, there is no shot clock. It's not as though you're forced to take this shot. He's going to get the 3 free throws on the bailout foul, but that's not the look that Farmington needs to get back in this game.
Foul on Broviak, and he's got that look as he heads to the bench. I know, I shouldn't have done that. Now he's going to think about it sitting down.
Right next to where the coach is. The coach pointed, he sat right down next to the coach.
Here's Wiersma, 73% shooter from the line. And he hits. No shock to see a coach's son be able to shoot free throws. It's like one of those requirements in basketball. If you're a coach's son, you're going to play, you better hit your free throws.
Absolutely, because you're there from the time you're about 3 years old, and when the other kids on the team are shooting free throws, you're going to help out, you're going to rebound, you're going to take a few shots. You grow up in the gym when your dad's a coach.
There's a cap off a perfect trip. And he can't. Gets 2 out of 3. It's 24-15. Fisher faces pressure as he breaks 10. He hit the 3-minute mark here in the first half. And a long 3 in the air. And good. Wow. Brad Fisher dials it up from long distance and connects.
Well, I'd love to play with Darren Lee. He gives you freedom.
Nelson the other way, no. But again, contact. Fisher gets up and says, who, me?
Watch this 3. Watch how deep this 3 is. Well, that's a good yard behind the three-point line. Nothing but net.
Look at that rotation. That's a thing of beauty. Here's Nelson. He hits. Eric Collins.
That's Brad Fisher, the guy's been nailing these threes. He's #1 in his class of 161 students at Nashville High School. He has a GPA of 5.0. Now, something must have changed because that's like double what I had. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. Extra credit along the way, I guess. 27-16.
Wish I would have had him as a teammate. I could have cheated off him throughout high school.
And a miss from the corner, boarded by Farmington.
5.0.
Here's Clarity. And he rattles it around and drops it. He's their main three-point threat, and that's his first of the game.
You know, you hear grades like that, though, Lance. That's what it's all about, being a student athlete. He's exactly what you're supposed to be. Play hard, play well, and be one heck of a student.
We near the 2-minute mark, 27-19. Nashville from the half court. Fisher sets him up. Piasecki out top to help him. Now gives it back. Farmington making them work. We'll go under 2 minutes.
Nice job by Farmington here. Real nice job. They've forced Nashville into a reset. They've worked hard at the defensive end of the floor.
Fisher with a little confusion as he looks for some opening up top. Now they dump down low. Here's the big guy. Paisecki squares up and hits. Wow. Working around, and then convert.
If you're going to be patient, then be patient to the point of getting a great shot opportunity.
Nelson the other way draws more contact. Cruiser got in his way. Boy, Nelson is a guy who forces that. He takes it to the hole.
Now here comes the opportunity inside. The rotation for the double in the post is late, and he gets a clean look. He's taller than everybody. There was nobody digging down to get a hand in on the ball, and he got an opportunity and buried it.
Coach calls him the most improved player on the basketball team.
Well, when he's your biggest guy and your most improved, that's a real good combination.
Third team All-State by Paisecki this year. Nelson hits. We've got a timeout on the floor. 1:26 left here in the first half. Class A quarterfinals game 2. Nashville 29, Farmington 21. We're back with more after this. And welcome back to the Carver Arena Civic Center. What a day of basketball. This crowd has been fired up from the moment we walked in this morning. And Nashville with possession following the stop and play. And a turnover. Farmington got down in the hole early. They kind of leveled themselves off and are clawing back in. Nelson tries to answer from 3 and 10.
Too quick a shot again. You've got, when you're down, you've got to maximize your point potential and get good looks.
And a turnover. Farmington, an experienced basketball team. They have 8 seniors, 3 juniors, just 1 sophomore. You would tend to believe while they were rattled early, they have the ability to right themselves, which they seemingly have at this point.
All right, now Farmington needs to come down and run their offense. Got a minute left in the half. Get everybody in touch and go into the locker room on an uptick. They've played well down the stretch here to get back in this ballgame.
Off the screen to Clarity, lost it. He was thinking 3, and they'll get to keep it, fortunately.
It's not as crisp. Need to be crisper running their offense.
Wiersma, the coach's son, to inbounds. Gets it back, thought about launching the 3, instead goes inside, and a turnover. Paisecki got his hand on it and says, I'll take that. And Nashville wants timeout. Darren Lee will get it. We'll stay right here. 36 seconds left. First half. Nashville with an 8-point lead. 22. Darren Lee will talk it over with his troops.
Well, I love the 20-second timeout. I think it's a great addition to the basketball game at all levels. The NBA always had it. Then college and high school have added it because it gives you a chance. 36.6 seconds left here. It gives Darren Lee a chance to settle his guys down and run a set where he can get himself a scoring opportunity. Got a good ball game going at 29-21. Farmington in that last sequence when they dumped the ball inside. Nice job by Nashville to double the post, create the turnover.
We talked about Farmington's experience. On the other side, Nashville has just 1 senior, but they were here last year in the quarterfinals, losing to Spring Valley Hall, so they've been here before. They might not have the overall experience in years.
Right, they've got tournament experience. Yes, they played in this building.
And they go to work for the final 24 here at the half.
Andy's got to get it.
Gayeski gives it up to Paisecki. And around the perimeter, Broviak takes a look. We go under 10. An 8-point lead, trying to hit double digits to head to the locker room. Cross-court, dangerous pass. Fisher will penetrate, scoop, and miss. Tip, no tip, and that will do it. Try to push it to double digits, will come up short, but if you're Farmington, you're feeling a little bit better. You have called back within 8. Let's go courtside. Eric Collins with Tom Wiersma. Eric?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lance. Coach, if you could throw out the first 5 minutes of the game, you guys right in this thing.
Pretty much so. I think we just got to stop giving them quite so many wide open looks for their threes. That's what hurt us. They got the 2 long passes off of our press. I think we finally started getting a little bit into our offense. I thought we were pushing everything and rushing everything early, but I think we probably got into the game a little bit.
Well, good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping by. That's Coach Wiersma. Now let's go back to Lance McAllister and the other coach, Dave Kaplan.
Thanks, Eric. Halfway through this one, game 2 in the Class A quarterfinals. Nashville leading by 8. Nashville 29, Farmington 21. Back with more of the halftime after this. Back at halftime, 29-21, Nashville leads, and back to Eric Collins. Eric?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lance. Now, when you're talking about coaching legends in Southern Illinois, this guy comes quickly to mind. It's David Lee, the father of Darren Lee, the head coach for Nashville. David Lee, you may remember, he was the head coach of McLeansboro back in 1984. That undefeated team in 1984 featured Brian Sloan, what have you. A head coach for 28 years down in Southern Illinois. You must be so excited. It's March. You got a son playing in this, or coaching in this tournament.
Well, I'm telling you, it's nerve-wracking. It's much more nervous when you're watching your son coach than what it is when you're coaching. But he's had a great season so far and got some good players. But that Nelson's got some of his players in foul trouble right now.
What do you tell your son before a game like this?
Oh, I try to tell him to enjoy what he's going through, because I'm not really sure I enjoyed that 84 season. It's so intense. You get rid of one game, you're just relieved it's over, and you prepare for the next one. And sometimes you look back and you don't enjoy him, so hopefully Darren will enjoy what he's got.
David, a topical question. You had an undefeated team in 1984, McLeansboro, led by Brian Sloan. You guys won it all, never lost a game. We have 2 undefeated teams right now. Spring Valley Hall, and of course the team playing right now, Farmington. How difficult is it to go undefeated throughout the entire thing?
Well, you know it's difficult because everybody's preparing for you. But once you get through a lot of the season undefeated, you start building that momentum, and you don't want to be beat. And if you've got good players, people say, well, you need to get beat. You don't need to get beat to be beat if you're not complacent, if you work hard in practice. And I'm sure that these 2 teams that went through the same thing. Darren got beat at Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville did a good job. They did a good job with their offense, and it was at Pinckneyville. So those things happen at times, but it's difficult going undefeated. But once you build that momentum up, you want to keep it going.
Coach, thanks for stopping by and talking to us.
Thank you, Eric.
That's the legendary coach, David Lee, the pride of McLeansboro, also coached at West Frankfort. Now let's go to Lance McAllister. Lance, take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Eric. Still ahead, numbers, highlights, and a look ahead to the second half. When we come back, stay right where you are. Back at Carver Arena, Lance McAllister along with David Kaplan. 29-21 your score at halftime. Nashville the leader, and Kap, let's work our way through the first half highlights.
Well, there were highs and lows for both clubs, but here's Piasecki inside. Look at that soft roll. Shooter's roll, did a nice job. He went straight up rather than fading away. And then Borowiak from 3 gets nothing but twine. Clardy, a jumper in the lane, used his dribble nicely to get himself a better shot opportunity. And then you break pressure by finding Brad Fisher with the home run TD pass. Here comes Seth Nelson with a nice dish to Dubik off the bank for the hoop, and then we close it out with Borowiak from the 3-point strike for Nashville.
8-point game at halftime. One more half to go. We're back with it after this. Nashville leading Farmington 29-21 at halftime. They're warming up to begin the second half. Let's take a look at the Ameritech long distance shot. This is from midcourt. And just off the mark, one of the many halftime activities taking place here today.
I'll tell you what,
Arena.
Another great thing, the March Madness experience next door. They do such a great job down here in Peoria.
Let's take a look at our Ameritech first half stats and the things that jump out. Look at that front court scoring, David.
Big time point production inside for Nashville. 17-7. Take a look at 3-point field goal. 20 have been hoisted already here in the first half.
Nashville 29, Farmington 21. We'll be back with second half action after this. Just about set for second half action. Eric Collins has Nashville coach lead.
Thanks a lot, Lance. Well, Coach, looked like you're going to have an easy one in the first quarter, but then they kind of came back and made a game of it. Adjustments for the second half. What do you guys have to worry about?
Well, we got a little foul trouble with Fisher and Borowiak, so we're going to have to switch them in. We got to get Nelson to stop. He's caused a lot of foul trouble driving to the baskets. And we got to get back and not limit any easy baskets, and they're going to turn the heat up if they stay behind us. So we're going to have to handle the run and jump pressure.
Good luck.
Thanks.
That's the coach. Now talk to the other coach, Lance and Dave. Guys.
Thanks, Eric. And we are ready for third quarter action.
We should get Eric one of those basketballs on his head.
Are you saying that would be an improvement?
No, I would never say that to Eric. He's a man of style.
We are underway. Here's Cruiser. Nashville had a nice little inside-outside combination in the first half. Got 12 from Fisher and 7 from Paisecki, but turned it over on their first possession to begin the third quarter.
Well, you just heard Coach Lee talk about handling run and jump pressure. It was a trap in the corner. It leads to a turnover and a tray.
Flaherty drops the 3. Been dropping a lot of those this season. 116, in fact, going in. And a timeout right away. This suddenly is a 5-point basketball game.
Well, it's exactly what you didn't want to have happen coming out of the locker room.
Just underway in third quarter action here from Carver Arena in Peoria, Illinois. Nashville by 5. Coming back after this. Farmington begins the third with a bang, a 3-pointer from Tom Clardy. At 116 coming in. Again, he has shot 100 more 3-point attempts than 2-point attempts going into this game.
Boy, that's a guy that gets the green light from the coach.
And his team within 5.
Say, during that timeout, we're right here where the Nashville bench is. Darren Lee, very animated with Andy Gajewski, says, you're a senior. We've got to show more patience in what we do and how we attack their defense. Patience, 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 so you get a good shot opportunity.
Here's Fisher out top. Now right wing, Borowiak backs it out. At the 7-minute mark here in the third, just underway in second half action.
You know what, credit to Coach Lee with taking the timeout 30 seconds in. He saw already they didn't come out the way he wanted in the half. He took the timeout. Many guys wait, and then they find themselves on the losing end, and they say, should have taken a timeout.
There's Flaherty trying to answer with another 3. Can't. Nelson rebounds. Nice dump. Up and in.
Did you see that interior pass?
Kuykendall converts it, and it's a 3-point game. And a turnover. Momentum is wearing purple and gold right now at the 6:24 mark. Nelson, top of the circle. Flaherty off the mark. And a whistle. Gajewski pushed him after the shot.
Well, I'll tell you what. The entire Nashville section is not happy. Watch this pass. Watch this. Look at it. No look. Beautiful. Don't need to dribble there. Take the ball straight up to the basket, but he still converted it anyway. Great pass.
That is what makes him one of the state's best point guards. Here's another thing. The scoop and the score.
I told you in the first half, you and I could see it, Lance, that he was going to strap this glove on his back and say, guys, come along for the ride. I'm going to need some help, but I'll get us jump-started, and he's done just that.
Farmington was once teetering on the edge. Right now, they're within 1. Fisher, top of the key. Puts it on the floor. And around the perimeter. That's Kuykendall with the contact.
Well, nice dribble drive along the baseline. Kuykendall has no choice but to come over and commit the foul or give up a layup. Here comes your dribble drive right around the corner. Takes it up strong, and there's the foul. Nice job. That's aggressive offense.
Fisher to the line where he shoots 87%, and he hits the first.
I love that angle where you can see coming around the corner right into your living room exactly what develops.
He's led this team in scoring 11 times this year. I mentioned earlier, they've had 7 different guys lead them in scoring, a well-balanced attack. It's both. And the lead at 3. On the run, here's Nelson. To Clardy, and he's feeling it.
Another clean look, and he buried it. He's had 2 real good looks at it, and he's drilled them both.
31 apiece. Who would have thought the way things started we'd reach this point? Farmington has crawled all the way back. And a 3 off the mark, and they've got the ball with a chance to take the lead. Here's Kuykendall, and a block, but a foul. Farmington feeling a whole lot better about itself right now.
Kelly Cruiser tries to take the charge. Here they come. That could have probably been a no call. And here it comes down on the fast break. pull up and drill the three. He was spotted up. He was waving his arms. He wanted the ball the whole way, and they found him.
This is Kuykendall to shoot, and he hits the first.
And all of a sudden, they've gone from really playing poorly early to you throw out that first 4 or 5 minutes, as Eric Collins said when we talked with Coach. They've played very well the last quarter and a half.
Wiersma misses, but they have taken the lead with the free throw, 32-31.
Boy, they're kicking up their defensive intensity. That's why they're back in the game.
Cruiser, left side. Gajewski. Look for Pisecki to touch it. They work the perimeter now, set up the screen. Now he touches, and a push from behind. Kuykendall, the battle continues between those two.
Well, it's getting physical inside. They're real focused on trying to get the ball right now, Nashville, into the low post. Here comes your entry pass, and there's the ball as Kuykendall comes around the corner.
Nashville ball out of bounds, right of the hoop. Cruiser needs help. Looking. And Borowiak frees himself up. Down low, Pisecki tries to kick back out, knocked away. Stolen by Nelson. Here comes Farmington. Scooping and missing, but rebounded by Smith. And a bucket and a foul. Blake Romaine on the receiving end after the miss. Converts, and he'll get a chance at one more.
All right, now let's watch from the block. And look at that. 4 purple shirts, 3 around the low post, and here they come, and they do a great job on the offensive glass. Here's your three-point opportunity. Real good job. Real nice job defensively, which keyed that whole situation. When you've got a guy you can't handle in single man-to-man coverage on the low post, you've got to get some help, and that's what they did.
Romaine hits to cap the three-point play, and it's a 4-point lead for Farmington, 35-31. Fisher the other way, 3 in the air, no good, loose, and controlled by Farmington.
But look how the tempo's changed. The pace of the game has changed, and Nashville isn't getting the look that they want offensively. That's a quick 3.
Here's Nelson penetrating, kicking out, 3 up, 3 no, but a whistle contact, and Wiersma will go to the line for a 3-shot attempt.
Now, they're not going to call it on the shot. They're going to say after the shot. Here goes the shot opportunity. It's contested. He's down on the floor when the foul occurs, so they'll say it's out of bounds rather than a shooting foul. That's a break for Nashville. Otherwise, it's 3 free throws.
Farmington with the ball and with a 4-point lead. Around the perimeter, here's Nelson driving again. Look at him drive. Wow. Man, oh man, can he knife through a defense. And a 6-point lead.
Tell you what, you want a point guard that not only knows what you want, but can also score, and he gets it done. Look at that run.
And a miss. And Farmington's got it again, trying to add to that run. Nelson weaving through traffic. 3 in the air. No good. And loose. Nashville's got to settle down and get back in its game.
Boy, the tempo has changed, Lance.
Yes, it has. They dump it to the big guy and kick back out. Borowiak misses. Coming up drive from 3-point range, and Farmington goes to work trying to add to that 6-point lead. And a timeout. Wow, what a change in events.
I think that's a great 20. Take the 20, you have it in your holster, settle your guys down. You got a chance now to come down here, run your offense, and start to build on your lead. So what Coach Wiersma is going to want to do is try and diagram something, either get an opportunity inside or do a real good job at ball rotation, get an open look. There comes your triple to low post. There's your open 3. This time the legs aren't there and it doesn't go.
They got the recognition from Pisecki that time. He saw the guys converging. The kick out got what they wanted. They couldn't convert it, though.
Absolutely. He did a nice job at fanning the ball back out. Now, what you may want to do is kick the ball into him, let him kick it back to the perimeter, and go right back to the low post, because sometimes as the defenders start to challenge the three-point shot, that post is open on a second entry pass.
Here's Wiersma for Farmington after the timeout. Off the screen. Clarity fires. And this one off the mark, he was a little off balance, rotating behind the screen. And Nashville the other way.
A little physical out there.
Yes, it is. Down low, there's Pisecki, contact. They dump to the big guy, and he gets hammered.
It's getting physical down low. Here comes an entry pass inside. Here comes the rotation. And they call the blocking foul. You got to give the guy room to come down. You can't undercut or move into the body that much. That's why the foul was called.
That's a nice entry pass. Got to have a lot of touch on that to go up and over. Nashville working in a 6-point hole. Tries to cut the floor. Can't. It's Pisecki misses. And they foul on the loose ball.
They're starting to press a little bit, Lance. They need to relax, take a deep breath. There's a lot of time left. We're at the 2:28 mark of quarter number 3. He had a wide open layup there and just didn't get the ball up on the backboard.
Eric Collins, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, in the last huddle, Darren Lee of Nashville said, guys, we're playing their style of game. Let's get back to playing our style of game. Let's go inside. No more threes for a while. Let's punch it down low. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. Nashville has missed its last 8. Farmington misses their way. And here comes Nashville trying to end that drought. Penetrating, scooping. Fisher, no, but draws contact. And he's going to the line. He took it strong to the glass that time.
See, that was an aggressive offensive move. Rather than being passive, standing around and taking a 3, he sees he's got nobody there that he's going to charge into. He knows he's going to get hit. Aggressive move to the hoop. And there's an offensive rebound coming in.
And that's nice recognition. You're 0 for your last 8. You've missed from the outside. He makes the decision. Let me go inside. Let me try to get something easy to break that string and get us back to where we should be.
There shouldn't be anything easier than free throws. It doesn't always work out that way.
That one drops through. About an 87% shooter. He's been to the line more than anybody on this team. 131 times coming into this game. And he hits them both. 37-34. Farmington's lead at 4. And look at this. Oh, and he missed the gimme. Dubit missed. And did he foul?
I think he did foul on the rebound after a missed layup. Now here's a real good look. Look down the floor. You dribble with your head up wide open and just doesn't get it there. There's your foul over there.
How many times do you see that? The frustration of a miss turn into your own foul being committed. Loose. And Borowiak reaches in.
Nashville is just not doing a very good job at moving on their inbounds passes, taking care of the basketball. And that was something they did, Lance, when they built their early lead. They did a great job at handling pressure and handling the basketball.
This is a team, a Nashville team that's lived off of that. Handling the ball well, shooting free throws well, good shot selection throughout the season. They shoot 51%. They haven't put it together here in this latest stretch.
I'll tell you, senior leadership is so important, and I look at Farmington, starting lineup has 3 seniors. For Nashville, 4 juniors.
And just 1 senior on the entire team for Nashville. 4-point lead. Here's Wiersma. Farmington has come all the way back. At times in the first quarter, looked like they might be down and out. Scored just 3 points in quarter number 1. Trailed at the end of one, 13-3. Here's Wiersma, the coach's son. He drives, scoops, and misses. Looked for contact and a call, didn't get it. He's slow getting up the other way. 3 in the air. No good. Pisecki fought for it with Smith. And Pisecki pushed from behind. Darren Lee not at all happy.
Darren Lee all over the officials. Doesn't like the call. You get to make the call and figure out if this is the right call by the officials. There goes the 3 on the way. It misses. Close. Close.
Darren Lee got a couple of looks from the officials. They didn't say anything, but it was one of those looks, I don't like the tone of voice you're looking at me in right
Absolutely. And veteran guys who are here at the state tournament, the IHSA does such a great job at recognizing the officials. They're not going to be real quick to call a technical. They're just good. They're going to listen with one ear, and they're going to head off the other way.
Will Smith hits the first. 5-point lead for Farmington.
You know, the one thing as I look at the Nashville bench, the players are all very passive, very quiet, sitting on the bench. They need to get up and get moving and get their guys on the court elevated to another level.
1 minute left to the third, and there's a turnover. Farmington has it back up by 6. This is Nelson, a little shake and bake through the lane and then back out, putting on a show of dribbling skills. Backs it out near the timeline. Farmington would like nothing better than to end the quarter on a bucket and head to the fourth up by 8. Look for a cutter back door. Flaherty tries to look up. He's directly underneath the scoreboard. Has to look ahead for the clock. Down to 10, down to 12. Behind the back, Nelson leans in, and he got the contact. That'll stop the clock. He was trying to dump.
Bodies go flying. Here he comes on the dribble now to the basket. He's a real nice behind the back move, and there's your foul. No question about the call. Reach in.
39-33. Nelson tries to add to that, where he's almost automatic, and he hits that one.
You know, it's amazing. I remember when I was coaching, you would watch a call and you'd say, what is the official looking at? And you'd say that 10, 12, 14 times in a row. Then you'd go home that night and watch the videotape and go, I guess he was right.
And he misses one for a change. But Farmington controls in the corner. Here's a three by Flaherty off the mark. Fought for and out of bounds to Nashville with 1.2. They're down by 7, and they'll get a desperation heave.
You got to be careful they don't throw it all the way out of bounds because it would come back to the other end of the court.
Stolen and fired the other way. Oh, man. We have put 3 in the books. 40-33, but look at this long distance bomb.
There you go from the other free throw lane. Watch this. Oh,
wow. Could have brought down the house and given Farmington a 10-point lead. Heading to the fourth, Farmington by 7. There you see the numbers. Farmington was down by 10 at the end of 1, down by 8 at the half, and to begin the fourth, they are up by 7. And we are underway.
Well, they've done a very good job at executing their offense, and they've kicked up that defensive intensity.
Look how cold Nashville has been. Wow.
Well, there's a couple factors there, Lance, that contributes to 0 field goals in the last 9:33 as you get a look at Coach Darren Lee. One is bad shot opportunities combined with great defense. The other is they have been patient offensively.
They'll keep the basketball. Continue to face pressure.
Got to kick your intensity up another level. They've got to look at their bench. When you're a bench player, if you're not in the game, you have a job to try and get everyone else on the court focused. Yeah, that's your responsibility.
Stolen away by Farmington. And here comes Seth Nelson. Stop, pop, and hit. Wow, that kid's tough. He penetrates so often, he says, you know what? I'm going to stop on a dime and drop it if no one's going to be in my face, and he's got his team up by 9. Nashville in some trouble, trying to answer with a 3. Cannot do it. That's Nelson again. Boy, he had a game.
They've just gotten away from what they need to do. They're taking shots, rush threes. They've got to settle down here. Plenty of time. 7 minutes is an eternity.
Flaherty to Smith, left of the wing. There's the cutter. Look at that. Look at the dunk and a block by Pisecki. Wow. Nice drive, nice dish, nice block.
Two great individual plays there.
Nashville the other way. Looking for Pisecki. There's the big guy. Catches, gives up. Shot up, good, and it'll count. Gajewski, Andy Gajewski.
Now see the Nashville bench just rose in unison. They've got to be up all the time. You got to continue to look at those guys and start to really cheer your guys on and work them through some of the rough spots.
And he hits. And it's a 6-point game. 42-36.
And a ball game here. Nashville's got to kick up the defensive intensity.
Here's Clarity, off balance, hit. Wow, looking to square up.
Pretty. That young man can shoot the basketball.
Nelson with a push the other way as Fisher knifed through traffic in midcourt. Take a look at Tom Clarity again.
Watch Clarity. Here he comes. He's going to come inside the three-point line, get himself a clean look. But he does such a nice job. His form is so beautiful to watch. The elbows in. He follows through. He shoulders over toes. He's not all over the place, and he knocks it down.
Perfect square up. Eyes on the basket. Fisher hits. There's that Nashville bench. They're down by 7. And it bounds around and drops. 44-38. Farmington in a hurry across 10. They dunk. Kuykendall. He's been quiet of late. Spinning, shooting. Off back of the iron goes Clarity. Fought for. And a whistle.
Here's a shot off the back of the iron. There's the spin. It's a tough shot, but there it goes. Up. Here comes your rebound, and here comes your foul inside. Right there. Close. Almost could have gone with a jump ball call. Close.
They'll put Kelly Cruiser at the line, the 6-foot junior.
You know, think back to game 1. Nabu got down 15 points. I believe it was 34-19. They never looked like they were down 15. They kept playing with the same enthusiasm. Nashville had the big lead, let it evaporate, and you could see on their face they were a little bit more concerned, and they're in a much closer situation here, a 5-point ball game. That's the difference between having seniors and having youngsters who haven't really had the opportunity to play a lot of years of basketball together.
Cruiser hit it. Farmington comes the other way, and not to be lost in all that shuffle was the fact that Scott Kuykendall fouled out on that play. 5:59 to go in the ball game. This is Will Smith who puts it on the floor. To Nelson, penetrates between the legs. Boy, can he put on a show. Got it again. Eisen won't fire, instead gives up to Wiersma. 4-point ball game. Romaine was open. He'll pass up to 3. Farmington forced to be patient here. Nothing coming easy. Nashville's defense in the half court. Nelson. Here he goes. Driving. Baseline. Floater, no. Little short, but he got it back. Did he step out of bounds? Yes, he did.
I think they're gonna get him for a walk. He did a nice job, everything but make the shot. Now here goes Farmington again in their full court situation. Let's see how Nashville handles it.
They finally break. Look at the turnovers. Nashville up to 14 now. And the 3.
Now the bench is alive. The fans are into it. Now the bench is up. They got something to celebrate. Cruiser buries the tray, and we got a 1-point game.
Darren Lee throws a fist into the air. The head coach for the Nashville Hornets. His team has bounced off the mat. 4:50 remaining. Farmington by 1. welcome back in and cap a big jumper.
Well, Kelly Cruiser gets it. Now he spots up. He sees he's got a wide open three. And he had 3 white shirts around the basket. See, there's a difference between taking a tray on a fast break situation with nobody under the basket. There he had 3 white shirts flying to the hoop. So he said, you know what? I'm going to take the opportunity. He eyes it, buys it, tries it, and nails it.
A couple of minutes ago, we showed you the turnovers. Nashville with 14 to Farmington's 9. Keep in mind, Farmington had 3 quick ones in the first quarter. Traveling violations. They've calmed down since then. Behind the screen, 3 up, 3 good. Seth Nelson drops the bomb. Farmington back up to a 4-point lead. Driving, scooping, and hitting is Brad Fisher, and it'll count. And that's got Nashville's bench up again.
But Brad Fisher's the guy who 3 or 4 times in transition's done a real nice job at pushing the ball to the basket. Here he comes. There's Seth Nelson. He says, what do you mean I committed the foul? Well, let's watch it. Here comes Nelson's tray. Bingo.
Well, they got a nice little battle going on. Brad Fisher for Nashville, Seth Nelson for Farmington. The free throw good. Back to a 1-point game. Wow. 4:15 to go in the ball game. Wiersma to Nelson on his hip and out top behind a screen and a whistle. That's why Clarity had such an open three. There was contact setting the screen.
This kid is just one heck of a shooter. I mean, watch this. This is not going to count. There comes the foul out top. Cruiser running through the screen. But look at that. Twine.
That is 5 for Cruiser, and he will call it a day.
He's a physical, tough kid.
Come on, Jody.
And into the ball game in his stead is Jody Gajewski. Little over 4 minutes left in this one. 2 more games to come your way tonight, and 4 more tomorrow. It is hoop heaven in these parts today.
Oh, it's awesome. Of course, next week, the AA Elite 8 will be here. Another huge crowd expected here at the Civic Center.
Here's the coach's son, fires and hits. Look at all the painted faces. It's what it's all about this time of the year when you're supporting your school. Second one up, but also good. 3-point ball game. We go under 4 minutes right now. Gajewski drives, cut off, and needs help out top. Here's Fisher. Watch Fisher on Nelson. This has been a battle all day long. Shake out top. Borowiak gives it up.
Nashville needs, they're running what they call their 3-play. They need to look inside. They had an opportunity at the low post and didn't utilize it.
Fisher misses off balance.
Iseki was available. They'd have swung the ball to the right side of the floor.
Farmington with the ball, the 3-point lead in the hands of Nelson, who gives it up. This is Will Smith. The screen, Romaine thought, or Wiersma thought about it, passed it up to a reset as we go under 3 minutes. Farmington a 3-point lead and the basketball. Scott Kuykendall, their big man, the senior, out of the game on foul. Nelson cut off, the kick out, and the rotation.
He's doing a nice job moving the ball on the perimeter, but they're not getting any interior movement to try and get someone on the low block because a guy like Kuykendall's not the ball.
It's Brad Fisher with the foul. Made contact fighting through the screen. And it puts Farmington at the free throw line in Tom Clarity. As well as he hits from 3-point range, just a 65% shooter from the free throw line. But he hits the first.
Look at the Nashville bench.
Robert Lee checks in. replaces Jody Gajewski. And he hits. 51-46, 2:39 to go in the ball game. Here comes Nashville with Fisher. Batted away. Nelson got a hand on it. Here comes Farmington on a 3-on-1. Now they get back, even up the numbers, and a turnover. Rare turnover by Seth Nelson in traffic.
Well, let's go back to the other end first. There was a real nice job at denying that wing entry pass, creating the turnover. They came down. I think Seth Nelson got too pretty. He had a man on his left. He went to his right. Everyone expected him to go to the left, and he threw it away.
They battle inside. And Greg Romaine, you can tell by his reaction, I didn't want to do that. It puts the big man at 6'6". Ryan Pisecki at the free throw line. Stopping the clock at 2:16.
Again, don't forget, 2 more ball games tonight, 4 more tomorrow.
Eyes fires and hits. Nashville at one time led by 10 at the end of 1, led by 8 at halftime. Now trying to pull within 3, and they do. Pisecki hits them both, and full court pressure. This is Nelson, and that's a reach-in.
Hey, it's amazing how some guys have that ability to put the ball on the deck and dribble through 2, 3, 4 defenders, and other guys, you put one guy on them and they turn it over. This kid has that knack. He is a gamer.
He loves the challenge, I think, when they throw bodies at it, like a Steve Alford or a Scott Skiles. Guys, just give me the basketball. If they foul me, I'm going to the line. I'll hit my free throws.
So when you have a guy who's your running buddy who can knock down threes like Clarity, you've got the whole package in terms of your back court.
53-48 as Nelson hits. Nashville the other way with Fisher. Gives it up and gets it back. Top of the circle, Lee. Driving, scooping, and missing. There's Pisecki, the putback up and in.
Nice job on the offensive glass.
Under 2 minutes. 3-point lead for Farmington. They get it to Nelson. Yeah, yes, sir. Double dribble with the basketball.
Yep, he knew it, too. As soon as it came up, it stuck on his chest for a moment.
So Nashville with the ball, a 3 can tie. 1:40 remaining. Borowiak pops off the screen, fires and falls short from 3, boarded by Farmington.
Get the ball back to your director, Seth Nelson.
Here's Wiersma, who penetrates and kicks back out top. Farmington 53, Nashville 50. They spread it out. Wiersma on his hip, now on the floor. Hope free and a reach in. That's Gajewski. And it stops the clock at 1:01.
Nashville bench. There's a look at Farmington coach Tom Wiersma.
Farmington trying to keep a perfect season alive. They're 31-0 coming in. Wiersma misses.
Important free throw because it makes it a 2-possession ball game.
And he hits. 54-50. Here comes Nashville. Lee puts it on the floor, needs help. They look for Pisecki inside. He's pushing and shoving. Around the perimeter, 3 in the air, no good. Off the mark by Fisher, boarded up, good, and a foul. Borowiak.
Zach Borowiak, a 6-foot, 160-pound junior. And if he's 6 feet, I'm 6'9". Does a great job inside. Here goes the 3. It's a deep 3. It's short. And look at who gets the rebound. The little man. Throw it up and get the foul.
Big, big board. 47 seconds remaining. We are looking at a 2-point ball game. Farmington 54, Nashville 52. Again, if you're just tuning in, after one, Farmington had put just 3 points on the board and was down 13-3. And things did not look good. The turnovers were mounting, and the Farmers were in trouble.
And in game one, we saw a similar type of result. Navi Toulouse down 34-19. They looked like the wheels were about to come off. And because they're veteran, they settled down. They got back in the game through the defense. They go on and win over Crispin 59-52.
In looking at the scoring differentials this year, and we're obviously in a close ball game, Farmington has won by an average of 25 a game this year. Nashville by 20. Farmington has been in 3 games in single digits, and they've gone down to the wire in 2 of those where they hit shots at the buzzer to win. So you always wonder this time of year with teams with such great records who have won convincingly how they handle pressure situations like this.
Lance, that's a great point, because we've seen teams, in fact, I remember doing a tournament game with a team that had an average margin of victory of over 30 and had never had a game closer than 17 points. They got into a ball game where it was nip and tuck, and they did not handle it and lost down the stretch.
So Nashville at the line with Zach Borowiak. Free throw short. Rebound Romaine. And a foul. Our player of the game, our Lincoln Mercury player of the game, a man we've talked a lot about today. And look at the afternoon and the numbers he's put up. Seth Nelson, 17 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists. And a tremendous job of handling the basketball.
Seth Nelson of the Farmington Farmers.
The Farmers at the line, and Romaine misses. He's a 78% shooter, and that could be a big miss for the free throw shooting. Gets the second.
3-point game now. It's important Nashville comes down, and in my opinion, I always encourage my players to attack the basket and get a 2.
They do just that, but miss. And boarded by Wiersbe. Looking to dribble out of traffic and a reach in from behind. Robert Lee poked it free, but made contact.
Well, they did the right thing. They took the layup. They didn't use the backboard and didn't make the shot. As you look at the Nashville bench, they look dejected. Come on, gang, it isn't over. 3-point game with 35.1 left. Plenty of time.
Rhett Wiersbe at the line. Trying to make it a 2-possession game if he can hit here.
That was Kelly Cruiser. He was very upset when he fouled out. 6-foot junior.
Wiersbe hits. 56-52.
Now, if he misses this shot, again, I go for the deuce.
Rims it out.
Because you're not going to tie it with the 3. Go for the deuce and see what happens.
They instead opt for 3. It's in the air, and it's off the mark. Fought for, losing a 4. Farmington hasn't wanted a timeout, jump ball, and alternating possession.
Now watch the rebound by the guy laying on the floor.
Rhett Wiersbe.
Now watch this. Here goes the shot up. Open look.
3 total, right?
It's off. Now who gets the rebound? The guy on the floor. And they give him the jump ball.
And Nashville wants timeout. Darren Lee wants to talk about it, and we'll keep it right here. That's a heck of an effort. Oh, look, all the trees. It's the guy laying on the floor.
You talk about positioning. You talk about working hard for the board. He's laying on the floor, and he comes up with it. Nice job.
Again, a 4-point differential here, and I think you make a good point about 2-2s. There's that tendency to get it all back. Oh, we're in a hurry. We need to shoot this 3, but the higher percentage shot is the easy 2-pointer if you can get it.
Right. If you take the layup here, and it's a 2-point game, and you foul immediately, if they make 1, the 3 will then tie it. But if you take a bailout, tough 3, and you miss it, now you're looking at, even if they make 1 free throw, a 5-point game. So my philosophy always was, unless the 3 is the only option we have, let's take the 2.
Nashville inbounds right at their hoop. Brad Fisher, the trigger man. 56-52, 23.3 seconds left. He needs help. He lobs, and he finds it. This is Robert Lee, driving cutoff, and a whistle on a block baseline, Will Smith. Will can't believe it, but he's going to be saddled with it.
Well, he's stunned. He says, I was there. Here's the look. It's coming around the corner. Almost a hook there that they don't call. And here comes the block. I don't know about that. I think Will Smith had a legitimate gripe.
He puts Robert Lee at the line. He's a 78% shooter.
Now this is a big one here because then you can afford to have him split free throws at the other end and still have the opportunity for the three.
And he hits them both. 56-54. There's the pressure. Romaine to Nelson. And a foul. And we'll walk the other way with Greg Romaine stepping to the free throw line. His team up by 2 with 18.1 left.
He's a 79% free throw shooter, 33 of 42 on the year.
Fires, and he rolled around and dropped it.
Now this is the big one. But again, if you can push the ball right down the court, a guy like Fisher, and take it right to the basket, you take the deuce, and now a three-point game. I almost take it right to the basket here.
You see the clock. 3 in the air, long three short. Rebounded underneath and into the corner. 3 up, and no, they need it back out. This is Fisher, short, down to 2 seconds. It goes out of bounds with 1.5 left. They got a couple of looks. They couldn't drop it. Who's got basketball, though? Darren Lee wants timeout. Wow, watch a wild sequence looking for a three.
Well, there's 1 3. Now there's the rebound inside. He dribbles right to the three-point line. Doesn't really get a good look. 2 threes. Kick it back out. Here's your open wide look at the 3. Missed.
And who touched it?
I believe no one touched that
Which
for the
would be
time of the shot.
Farmington ball.
Which should give the ball to Farmington. Now here's the end of it. I believe the ball came off the rim. All right, here's the shot. Now let's watch. There's the ball. It hits the rim. Okay, now we're... Nobody touches
Farmington basketball.
That should be Farmington basketball. The officials have given it to Nashville. They've got new life. Do they do anything with it? 1.5 left. That is a lot of time, Lance. You have time to catch the ball, get a dribble, square up, and shoot it.
Their best three-point shooter is Zach Borowiak, 41%. Your next option would be Fisher at 37%. 1.5 left, a 3-point lead.
Now watch and see if they try and swing the ball and maybe get the inbound passer a shot as soon as he steps in.
There it is. Borowiak in the air. No good. They got a chance. They couldn't convert. And Farmington is moving on. They bounce all the way back from a 3-point first quarter. Down by 10 at the end of one. Down by 8 at the half. And in the end, they actually survive. They survive a barrage of threes by Nashville to win it 57-54.
What a heck of a ball game. I mean, these first two games had everything you could want. Nashville has nothing to be disappointed about. They've had a great run. They will be back. This club 30-2 on the season, and they started 4 juniors. Only 1 senior on the roster. Heck of a club.
Farmington moves to 32-0 and moves on. Eric Collins has the winning coach.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lance. Coach, I guess this is what it's all about, huh?
Man, that's remarkable. I don't have many words to say. For us to come back, we were, 12 or 13 down in the first quarter. Like you said, we didn't play very well the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. But the third quarter all year has been our quarter, and we made stop after stop after stop. We made some big buckets. We hit enough free throws down the line. I can't say enough about our kids. for us to beat Nashville, I didn't know if it was really possible. I'll be very, very honest with you. I didn't know it. And I'm so pleased with our kids. They deserve it. I feel very bad for Nashville because they're a great basketball team. They're a great basketball team. And but we'll take the win, too.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the next 20 hours. You got a tough one again tomorrow.
Yes, we do. They're all tough now, but we got to the Final Four, and that means we get something. So we just got to play our basketball tomorrow, and we'll be happy.
Congratulations. That's Coach Wiersma. Can you tell he's a little bit excited? It's wonderful out here in the court. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. Farmington moves on 57-54, 2 games down, 2 more to go. Hang tight, we'll come back, and we will wrap things up. A victorious afternoon for the Farmington Farmers. Stay with us. Heck of an afternoon for basketball. The first one was outstanding. The second one lived up to the same type of billing. 57-54. Farmers win it in dramatic fashion. They survive a 3-point barrage at the end. And Cap, let's take a look at our Pepsi play of the game.
Well, real nice interior passing, almost a microcosm of what we had earlier today when we started watching the passing and the job Farmington did. Take a look at Seth Nelson now. Gets the offensive rebound. Watch this pass. No look. Scott Kuykendall inside layup, and that is our Pepsi play of the game. And again, just a microcosm of what Nelson did all day long.
And keep in mind, Farmington down early, rallies back. They lose Kuykendall, and they're still able to survive in the end.
Right. In fact, there were several opportunities that Nashville had on the glass because Kuykendall wasn't there, but they couldn't maximize their points inside. Seth Nelson, the difference maker today.
Let's take a look at our Ameritech final stats of the game here. And Cap, what jumps out at you here?
Well, I look at the number of free throws. Both teams go to the line a lot. Farmington 24 of 33. Nashville made their opportunities. They even won the battle on the glass, but 3-point field goals, 5 of 19, 5 of 25, just aren't going to get it done, especially Nashville, 16 of 48 overall from the floor.
And it seems only fitting that Farmington Farmers, who hadn't played a whole lot of close games this year, had won some close games with final shots. They survive a final shot today and stay perfect.
Right, they probably shouldn't have had to deal with it because the ball should have been theirs in that final 1.5, but Nashville got the opportunity, just didn't convert it.
Boys, it's been a great day or one. We've still got 2 to go.
2 more great games and 4 more tomorrow.
Let's take a look at our brackets. Here's the 2 games tonight, 6:30 and 8:30. 2 good ones tonight. 4 very good ball clubs still remain for tonight's action.
Spring Valley to Topolis is a battle of heavyweights, and then Normal U High and Chicago Leo, who's led by a 6'9" sophomore. Going to be 2 great games.
All right, so 2 teams are set for the semifinals tomorrow. We will have the other 2 quarterfinal games tonight live starting at 6:30 on Fox Sports Chicago. For Eric Collins, David Kaplan, and our entire Trio video crew, I'm Lance McAllister saying so long for now. Our final score, Farmington 57, Nashville 54. The following has been a presentation of Fox Sports Chicago and Intersports Television.